Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about exchange signatures. If you go to our mailbox and try to send an email to yourself or somebody, let's call this as meeting request. So after typing something as a body, you may need to send the regards or the best regards, and then you may need to provide your name, and then you may also need to provide a few other details like adding your title or the department name, which is IT department, or let's say IT administrator. And you may need to provide the phone number, which will be like the country code and the standard codes and the number. And along with that, you may need to add email address of your mailbox before sending an email. So typing all these things on every email you send on day-to-day basis is not manually doable. So instead of doing all these things, let's just find a way where we can automate this in our mailbox. So let's discard this. Let's go to settings and go to options in the mailbox. And if you scroll down to the layout section and go to email signature, here you can draft the email signature which you want to be auto-populated when you are composing any new email messages or when you are replying or forward an email message to somebody. So let's create a signature for the messages which I'm going to compose, and let's add this format wherein I'm adding the regards, my name, my department, email address, the phone number, and my company name. Let's save this and go back to our mail options. If we now click on new, you can see all those options are auto-populated and ready to be sent. So this is how you can create a signature by yourself on your mailbox. As a user, this may look good for you. As an IT administrator, you may want to standardize this signature format across your organization. This is because some of the users within your organization may not want to provide their email address here on the signature, or may not disclose the phone number, and they may not know the company name completely. So they may not provide the company name as well. So they may just do the regards and just provide the first name while sending the email. So this doesn't look good when the email is being sent to the higher authority or the managers, or when the email is leaving the organization and it is being sent to external organizations. To avoid this situation wherein each users will have their own formatted signatures, we can create a custom signature which is standardized across all the users in our organization. So let's just discard this and go back to options and go to email signature and disable this and save. So let's go back and let's go to our ECP. So in the ECP, let's go to mail flow. As we discussed earlier on our previous videos, we create a disclaimer to append or prepend the text message on the each emails which are sent outside the organization. We will use the same methodology to create the signature as well. So let me just create a new rule and call this as signature template. And let's apply this rule if the sender is located inside the organization. And let's click on more and do the following. In the do the following, let's add apply a disclaimer at the footer. For that, we will select append a disclaimer, and let's add simple text called best regards and see how this works. Let's click OK. As a fallback action, we will select ignore and click OK. Let's click save and go back to this mailbox and let's send an email. We will send this email to Yusuf, and once we have it, let's send and go to Yusuf mailbox. As you see here, the best regards word is being added automatically. So this is same way which we added the normal disclaimer. It is adding the text on the bottom of our email. So let's format this further and create a text which resembles the email signature like this. So let's go to our notepad and create a draft of the signature that we need. Best regards, and list out the properties that we want to display on the signature of each users. So we will display the name, and we will also add the department, and we will add email address, we will add phone number, and we will add company name. If you go to this link and scroll down, in this section you can see what are the fields which you can use on the disclaimer. So if we go back to our notepad where we drafted the fields, so we can use this text as well as we can use this format to populate these particular values from user's account. So let's select the name, which will be our display name, and the department, and we would need the email address, which will be our Windows email address, and then the phone number, which will be our phone, and then we need the company name. So let's use this as a sample signature and try to create our signature here. Let's go back to rules and edit the signature, and in the text let's provide this and hit save. So if I go back to Yusuf and create a new mail and send it to Praveen, note that we are not adding any greetings here. So let's hit send. So if we go back to Praveen's mailbox, on the inbox you can see the test2 is received, and you can see the best regards and Yusuf's name, his department, his email address, and his phone number, and the company name. So this is coming in a single line and not well formatted. This is because we just added a plain text on here. So as you already know, this accepts the HTML format. Let's create a HTML format and then add it here, and we will see how it looks on the signature. I just created my HTML format here. So I will be sharing this as a sample format in the video description. Please go check it out. Let's save this. And if we go back to Yusuf, if we click new and create a email, let's call this as test3 and hit send. In the sent items, we can see that there is no signature being added on the mailbox level. However, if we go to inbox of Praveen, you can see that email is received and the signature is already well formatted. You can see the name of sender is being highlighted by bolding the font, and then it is giving the department. I have also included the city, state, the zip code, and the country code here. And I have also added the phone as a text and then added this from the variable or the format. And I have also added the email address here. I have added my company name as a static text and then added a hyperlink on this. So if I click, this will open my website directly. So this is how you can create a custom signature and standardize across your organization. If you want to add a company logo on the top or bottom, you can also do that by using HTML codes and just adding it on the rule here. So if we go back to Praveen's mailbox, let's copy the same text here and try to create a new email. Let's send it to Yusuf only and mention the subject as test 4 and send this email. Let me go to Yusuf's mailbox now. So let me put it here on the side. So if I open Praveen's email now, you can see this is not properly formatted. You can see the blanks here and some random characters, and then phone number is also blank. This is because if you go back to Active Directory and refresh and go to properties of Praveen, you can see most of the fields are blank here. You can see the telephone number is blank. If I go to profile, everything is blank here. You can also see the telephone numbers are blank. And if I go to organization, his job title, department, everything is blank. So in cases where you do not have the fields populated here in Active Directory, you will have such issues on the signature as well. But however, if you populate all the fields properly on the Active Directory, then you will have the signature like we have for Yusuf. So let's take another scenario where Yusuf is sending an email to external recipient. So he will have the signature template which will be appended, and he will also have the outgoing email disclaimer which will be appended. So to test it how it looks, let me just change it to inside the organization and send an email from Yusuf and hit send. So if we go back to this mailbox now, you can see the signature is coming below and the disclaimer is coming just below the body of the email. So some organization may want to keep this information below the signature. In some cases, you may want to keep this information just above the signature. So this is based on how you want to display this information to the recipients. For now, let's consider as you want to display this information below the signature. To achieve this goal, let's go back to rules. Here you can see something called priority. Whichever the rule has lowest priority will be processed first. So let's increase the priority of signature and put it just above the disclaimer. So by this way, the signature will be processed first as a rule, and then the disclaimer will be added. To test it, let's go back to Yusuf and do one more test. Let's hit send and go back to this mailbox here. So if we go to this email, now the disclaimer is just below the signature. In some of the organization, they may want to include the logo as well as they may want to include motivational quotes or disclaimers just below the signature. So I have created a signature format for the same. Let's go back to ECP and rules and go to edit. Let's change this to the new one. this is using the table to generate this signature. So let's hit save. And let's go back to Yusuf's mailbox and send a new test email. And hit send. So if we go back to our mailbox here, you see the signature email has been received here. So let's go to this. And as you see, we have the text here, which is sent as part of the email. And we have the logo of our company here. And then we have this regards with the sender name and the title of the sender and the location. We also included the phone as we needed, and we changed the font color of the email address, and we also added for the feedbacks you can reach out to Tristan, and then we changed the font color for that as well. So we also matched the font color to our logo, and in the below we just added the motivational quote. Once you standardize the process for signature update, you may need to document this and inform this to your user and newcomers. And this is very essential because some of the users who used to add the signature manually on their Outlook, they still feel like they have to add the signature manually, and they will set the signature on their Outlook or over just using the options which we discussed earlier, similar to this, and they will save this. So the problem with this is whenever they send an email, they get the signature added here, and let's say if he sends an email to Praveen, and Praveen will receive an email with the manually added signature as well as the standardized signature which is added by the IT administrator. So this could be an issue where the user is trying to send an email, but the recipient is getting multiple signatures from the user. Due to this, it is very essential to document this process and inform the newcomers and all your users in the organizations to not to include the signature on the Outlook or on the OVA by manually adding it. So this is how you can work with signatures and disclaimers. Let me know how you have configured the disclaimers and signature in your organizations in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so that you will get the notification as soon as I post something like this. So that's it for this video. I hope this was informative. See you on the next one.